Hey guys, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this. I am starting off with the Smashbox Photo Finish Water Primer, and I'm going to go ahead and use some concealer as my eyeshadow base, or my eyeshadow primer, and just blend it out with my fingers. So I am working with the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette today. I am obsessed with this palette. It's so creamy, it's so pigmented. Like every single color is like perfect in this palette. And I am starting off with the color Custard, and it's like a light kind of yellow shade, and I'm just using that to set the concealer on my eyelids. That way, whatever shadows that I place on top of it will blend fairly easily, and it also won't crease throughout the day. I'm also placing a couple pieces of Scotch tape on the outer kind of sides of my eyes. That way I can kind of create a sharper edge with it. And I'm going in with a fluffy blending brush and the color Burlap from the Lorac Pro 2 palette. And I'm using the color Burlap as my kind of crease shade, my transition crease shade, I should say. It's a very pretty, like, deserty, I would say desert sand color if you guys are familiar with Makeup Geek. It's just like a burnt brown orange color, and it's really pretty. It's great to use for the transition color, especially because we're using a lot of darker colors today. So it's just good to kind of pop that in so everything can blend seamlessly. And I'm going to go in with the color Purple from the palette. I'm using that just to kind of outline the sides of my eye, like kind of use the tape as a guideline, and then I'm kind of just dragging it down halfway onto the lid. And I'm just going to do that and pack the color on. Okay, once I kind of got the pigmentation I wanted, I went in with the color Cabernet, and this is more of a dark kind of red brown color, and I'm just using that to connect the purple shade on my outer V and kind of bring a darker shade into the crease. And I'm using a Sigma E40 blending brush to do that with. Okay, so going back to the palette, I'm using the color Gunmetal. It's this really pretty silver, like pewter gunmetal, as the name is. This really pretty pigmented metallic shade. The palette comes with, I believe, 32 shades. So 16 are matte and 16 are shimmers. And this is one of the shimmer shades. It's super creamy and pigmented. Like, I didn't need to use any Fix Plus at all whatsoever. I just used the color straight from the pan. I mean, you can add Fix Plus to intensify it, but I felt with this look, I really didn't need to add that, and I love it. It's so creamy and it blended so pretty. Once you kind of add the color to your lid, you want to go back in with the E40 blending brush, and I'm using the color Ash, which is this purple gray tone color, just to connect all of the shadows together. Okay, and then when you're done with the eyes, you just want to go ahead and peel the tape off. And then what I usually do is just go in with a makeup wipe just to clean up any of the edges, if some of the shadow got like under the tape, just to sharpen it up as well and kind of just clean up any fallout. Then I'm going back in with the color Burlap because I felt like my eyeshadow wasn't as blended as I wanted it to. So I just went back in with that color and blended all of my shadows upwards. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera, and I'm using the Makeup Forever mattifying primer just to go ahead and prime my T-zone where I usually get very oily at. And now it's time for foundation. So I am using the Tarte Kabuki like airbrush foundation brush, which I am obsessed with, and I'm using my Holy Grail foundation as of right now, and that is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. If you guys are wondering what color I'm in the color Y445. I'm just going to go ahead and place it all over my face and then use the brush and blend it out. Then I'm going in with the Urban Decay Complete Coverage, I believe, Weightless Foundation. And, oh, it's not foundation, sorry, whoa, concealer. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the points of my face that I want to kind of make a little bit brighter and also conceal my under eye circles. And I'm going in with a like half dry, half damp beauty blender. I find that when you dampen your beauty blender all the way that it soaks up a lot of excess product. So if you guys really like a bright under eye, I advise just kind of like spraying it with some Fix Plus and using it like that. I find that that works best for me as far as like blending out my concealer, but I mean whatever works for you guys. And then to set my concealer, I am using the Benai Banana Powder. I'm using the baking method, so I'm just going to go ahead and bake under my eyes with that powder, and then wherever else I place the concealer, I'm just going to lightly kind of dust it there. Then I'm taking a little bit more of the banana powder on a fluffy face brush. I believe this is a Morphe one, part of their Gunmetal collection. And I'm just using that to kind of set my foundation. And I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Profusion Bronzer. And I'm also using another Tarte brush. I believe this one is called like the bronze slash like contour brush. And I love this brush. I love it because you can bronze up your temples fairly easily. And then you can kind of just twist it on the side and go ahead and kind of just contour your cheeks. Okay, then once you kind of just let that powder sit there, you just want to go ahead and use any type of brush just to go ahead and brush the excess away and kind of just buff it out. So for blush, I'm going in with the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Vivid Swirl Blush in the color Papaya. And I'm using that with a e.l.f. stippling brush just on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm kind of bringing it a little bit towards the hairline. And then I'm just going in with a MAC stippling brush just to go ahead and blend out that blush and that bronzer together. So I wanted a little bit more of a pop of kind of glitter on my lids. So I went in with the NYX Crystal liner in the color Crystal Silver. And it's more of like a liquid liner, so it's a little bit different to apply versus like other, like, I guess, like liquid, like adhesives to like your eye, I guess. So it's kind of hard to apply this one. I kind of applied it on my lid, but then when I was looking up at the camera, at the viewfinder, it kind of was just like going on to my upper crease. So I kind of just worked with it and let it dry for a little bit. And then I'm just going to go in with the banana powder just to kind of clean up my contour underneath. And I'm just using mascara to go ahead and coat my lashes. The mascara I'm using here is the IT Cosmetics mascara. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply my lashes off camera. And the lashes that I am using are the Violet Voss lashes in the style Wispy My Name, which is a really, really cute style. I love these lashes. They're very like wispy and very like demi-wispy, I guess you can call them. Super pretty. And now I'm just going ahead and lining my bottom waterline with the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon Liner in the color, I believe is Lunatic. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a flat shader brush. And I'm going back in the Lorac Pro 2 palette using the color Burlap just to add a little bit more dimension underneath my eyes. Okay, to go ahead and highlight my brow bone, I went back into the palette using the color Porcelain. It's this really pretty, like, just stark white shadow, which is nice. And I'm just using that to kind of line under my brows. Okay, for an inner tear duct kind of pop, I went in with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the color Tassel. I'm just using that to highlight my inner corners, and I'm putting it on the highest points of my brow bone. Okay, so go ahead and coat your bottom lashes as well. And now is my favorite part. I'm going in with the e.l.f. fan brush, and I'm using my new favorite highlight, which is the Kardashian Beauty Incandescent Light Box. It's this really pretty kind of 3-color highlight. It's more of like a pink highlight, a gold highlight, and a rose gold highlight all in one, and it's super pretty and pigmented, as you guys can see. And I'm just using that on the tops of my cheeks as well as on the tip of my nose and down the bridge of my nose as well. And I believe I use a little bit over top of my Cupid's bow just to kind of highlight my lips. Okay, so for lips today, I used the Ofra Cosmetics Lasting All Day liquid lipstick, and I use it in the color Malibu. It's this really pretty like fuchsia purple, and I love their lipsticks because they're not drying, they're super comfortable, and like they're amazing. They have so many colors, and I'm so obsessed. And I felt like this color here brought the look together. And you just want to go ahead and set your makeup. I use the Urban Decay De-Slick, and that's it.